Family, friends, and fans, we are all gathered here today to lay to rest the Phoenix Suns 2023-24 NBA season.
It left this earth doing what it loved, but it will always remain in our hearts.
Gone too soon, we will miss them dearly, but their spirit will linger on.
In lieu of flowers, please donate super chats. Now Now bow your heads and join me in prayer. Dear Saint Durant, please save us from our sins. Amen.
Amen.
Because apparently the season's over.
You guys.
It's over.
Damn you, Suns Twitter.
You guys. Welcome into the PHNX Suns podcast. Tonight, the Phoenix Suns will face off against the Los Angeles Lakers. But of course, the news of the day that has everyone feeling like we're at a funeral is that Bradley Beal and Devin Booker will not be playing tonight. But before we all go too far with the shenanigans, let's reel it in a little bit. I think we'll be okay.
Hey, listen. It's 35 unbothered tonight. Let's go.
I think it's 58. We'll include Gordon.
This is fitting because everybody was all over Kevin Durant's ass last game about how poor he performed and he didn't score a lot and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Tonight they're going to see. They're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, look, no depth. You proved it wrong the other night. A great chance to prove it wrong again. Look, we saw a week ago tonight the Suns bench play against the Lakers starters, and they ran them off the court. They literally ran them off the court for the remainder of the preseason. They just hung up, waved the white flag, and gave up when the Suns bench cut it to 2 points in that game, and then the Suns wound up winning that one. Look, I don't think it'll be quite like that tonight, obviously, but I really think that this Suns team has the depth. If Grayson Allen or Eric Gordon shoots anywhere like we know that they can, tonight we'll be just fine.
Yeah, and we'll get into this in a little bit about the nature of the injuries and everything. But, I think as fans, we tend to focus on what a bummer it is that two of the big three are unavailable. We've been waiting to see this big three in action since the Bradley Beal trade went through. So I don't want to downplay that because I know as fans it's a bummer that we're not going to see Beal or Booker out there tonight. But at the same time, that doesn't mean the sky is falling and we have to go full Chicken Little every time we go through this. We know what the end goal is here. They're not playing for October. They're playing for June. And that also doesn't mean that this is load management. So, there's a lot of narratives that are being thrown about right now. We need to sort out the shit and just focus on what is actually true and what we're hearing.
Okay, so let's start.
Wait, to quote the great Kendrick Lamar, we gonna be all right.
Let's start kind of unwrapping this, if you will. We'll take a look at the injury report for tonight's game first. On the Suns side, as I mentioned, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and of course Damian Lee are all out tonight. Devin has that left foot soreness. Bradley Beal is still dealing with that low back tightness. On the Lakers side, Cam Reddish with right foot soreness is probable. Jared Vanderbilt with left heel bursitis.
Bursitis?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's a medical term.
I love that. He's out, so we don't know what it means.
I'm not a doctor.
Isn't it
I did kind of set you up for failure on that one. And then
It's a medical term.
Jalen Hood-Shafino is also out. I was like, hold on, that's not what I thought I wrote, but it is apparently. And I didn't even look
bursitis
it up.
is the inflammation of a bursa.
close.
Yes.
A closed fluid-filled sac that works as a cushion and gliding surface to reduce friction between tissue of the body.
That is
My
the-
bad,
that is
Vanderbilt. Didn't mean to do dirty like
That
that.
is the second time in a month on a basketball podcast in this network that we have talked about bursitis.
Really?
Yeah, I talked about the same thing with Eddie.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
so then
you
you
read-
should have known what it was.
Did
Oh,
you
no,
read the
I told him what
Wikipedia?
bursitis
okay.
was.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was ignoring you guys because I was reading a tweet. So I didn't see this.
Wow.
Otherwise,
That's how it
Dr.
is.
Bookman would have been in the
Glad I
house.
just
my
jumped on that
God.
grenade. Thanks for that.
We did get an update from Jared Greenberg just a little bit ago. Said new Devin Booker is out tonight due to a left midfoot sprain, which he suffered during Tuesday's win at Golden State. A team source tells me Booker is aiming to return to action Tuesday, pending the results of an MRI, which he will receive when the team returns home. So first and foremost, let's put to bed any thought, any rumors, any whatever that this is all about rest. Okay. That's not what this is. Obviously, we just read you the tweet that Jared sent from a source that he has close to the team. He sprained his foot.
Are you sure? Is this not some
Oh, no.
conspiracy?
Here we go.
Because you know what you really need at the beginning of the year is rest on game 2.
Yeah. They're
And
just
you
tired.
fake it starting in the preseason so you can justify it and not get fined by the league. That was some of the dumbest stuff I had ever read on Twitter. And I've read a lot of dumb stuff on Twitter. But that was like, are they going to get fined? Are they going to get in trouble? No, they're injured. And the rule allows for injury because they're not trying to fake it 2 games in.
Right. And this technically it can trigger an NBA investigation, but to your point, they are both legitimate injuries for both. But the good news is they don't sound like serious long-term injuries. Based on what we've heard from Bradley Beal and Frank Vogel, Bradley Beal tweaked his back. He felt it the day after practice. It was the day of the Lakers preseason game, which he missed. He's been dealing with it since. Frank Vogel told Dwayne Rankin before tonight's game that they've been trying to ramp up his activities, but he's been symptomatic to that ramp up. And so as a response to the work, he's not ready to play just yet. So that is why he probably went from question to doubtful from Tuesday's game to tonight's game. And then Devin Booker, just wanted to clarify this because we've gotten a lot of questions about this. The toe injury from Tuesday, it sounds like is a separate thing from this foot sprain. Like Vogel said, it was something that happened late in the Warriors game. And the toe thing was something that Booker was entering Tuesday's game with, an injury, just like one of those fluke things. Someone probably landed on it or whatever in practice. So it's not necessarily related.
Right. So that's the biggest thing because everyone's coming out with this whole conspiracy theory about the NBA triggering the investigation or whatever. Well, he played on Tuesday. So if he was
Right.
dealing with it and he played on Tuesday, he should be able to play tonight. Like 2 totally separate things from what we're gathering. And then also, even if it was the same issue that he was dealing with coming into the game on Tuesday, that doesn't mean that it responded well after playing in Tuesday's game.
Right.
So either which way, it's valid.
I mean, listen, if you're out there and you think that the Suns are load managing, okay, cool. But that just means, without a doubt, you don't know who Devin Booker is. Straight up. Devin Booker hates missing games.
That's
He would
true.
never purposely miss a game, period. I don't care. Like, he tried to come back with a bad hammy on Christmas Day because he hates the Nuggets that much. Like, he's not missing out on playing LeBron and the Lakers either. Like, trust me, that's not happening. This is not a scenario where we have to talk about load management. We can leave that for like the Philadelphias of the world.
Yeah, it's the same thing for Bradley Beal too, honestly, because like, no, I was going to try to move past it, but no, like to your point, like people that think Book would ever load manage are crazy. If anything, he needs to be protected from himself sometimes. And Beal, to be honest, is the same way. Like he was extremely excited to make his debut for this team. I can imagine he's definitely bummed about not being able to play again tonight. Like this is the type of team he's been waiting to play on his entire career. He's not going to be load managing game 1 and game 2 of the season just for shits and giggles.
I like to imagine that this all is a conspiracy because when the Suns showed the picture of Bradley Beal walking up the ramp to the plane when they were heading out for game 1, and he's carrying his TENS unit, like the thing that you use on your back when it hurts. And this is an elaborate ruse if he was carrying that and it's not really injured.
Also, like, listen, there's some games in the schedule that every player can acknowledge wants to play in.
Mhm.
The season opener is definitely one.
Yes.
The home opener is another one. Like, if you think Bradley Beal is just sitting there like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No, he's not doing that. He wants to play probably more than anybody because this is probably the first legitimate team and really first legitimate shot that he's had to win a championship. He's not sitting out games. Like, just stop with these stupid conspiracy theories from people that don't know shit.
So Jeremy asked, how bad is Beal's injury? I mean, it's either something or it's nothing, right? So which is it? From everything we've heard, and it's because it's a back issue, is they want to err on the side of caution. So it doesn't sound like it's something severe, but it is enough soreness and tightness in there that it's not worth potentially playing through it and making it something that could be severe. Seems like it's one of those injuries where you just don't mess around with if you're not fully ready to play.
Yeah, you don't screw with back injuries. I mean, even if you have just a sore back, it makes everything more difficult to do. And defensively, like when you got to get in that 3-point stance, that ain't comfortable. And you could really tweak something because, as I've mentioned on the show before, the kinetic chain. When one thing goes, you overcompensate elsewhere in your body. And then all of a sudden you've injured yourself somewhere else as well, just because of that one weak point that you're dealing with.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that you can't have a little bit of concern because a lot of people are saying it's something if it keeps flaring up and that, you know, he hasn't played 60 games since the 18-19 season. I get that. It's okay to be a little bit concerned, but I think the biggest thing here is the idea that it's rest, because it's not that. And I understand why you're concerned. I'm not ready to like fully go crazy about how bad this back tightness is until we miss a couple more games. And then I'll be like, Gerald, I need you to ask more questions.
Right. And
I need you to poke and prod Frank Vogel till he gives us something.
And it's not like we won't be trying when they get back. Like, we'll be asking these questions about the nature of the back injury and all that stuff. We'll be asking for updates as we get them. Teams are understandably wary about being fully transparent when it comes to this type of stuff. So it's just one of those things where until we know the full extent of it, then we can take that information and react accordingly. Until then, we're kind of in the dark. Bradley Beal has described it as a little tweak, and that's basically all that we've gotten in terms of the severity.
Again, with back issues, specifically back issues, if you fuck around, you're going to find out. Like, you got to make sure he's absolutely 100% before he comes back, because we've seen guys like Larry Bird back in the day battle back injuries. Once he got his first one, he just battled it for the rest of his career, and it ultimately ended his career. You know, but then we've seen other guys like Giannis last year in the playoffs. He hurt his back. You know, and he was struggling in that last elimination game. And ultimately the reason why they didn't make it to the next round. You know what I mean? So you got to be very, very careful with these things. I don't care if Bradley Beal misses 20 games. As long as when he comes back, he's fully ready to go, so be it.
Okay, so now that that's all sorted out, who's starting tonight, Gerald?
So we got word from the Suns. It's going to be the same lineup as the last time Beal and Booker missed a preseason game. It's going to be Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, and Yusuf Nurkic in the middle. It makes sense. I think in the playmaking department, the last time we saw this lineup, they struggled. And I think it was against the Lakers as well. They struggled with the Lakers' perimeter defense. So Gordon and Grayson have to be better in that regard. I think both of those guys are going to be fairly motivated to prove that they're going to play a lot better than they did in the season opener. So maybe that'll help. But I do think, like, I know you wanted to start Jordan Goodwin. I think that could have been an option, but at the same time, I do worry about the shooting with that lineup.
Yeah, my thought was EG can be that driving force off the bench and kind of be that leader. And Jordan Goodwin can help on the defensive end and is more of the traditional point guard than you have anywhere else. And with Beal and Book out, you're going to have to figure out who's really handling the ball. And I don't want to see KD put in that position, because recently when he has been, he's forcing some of those shots. And I want him to be able to get in a rhythm without having to be that guy all night. You know?
Well, I'm really that's a good point about KD. I'm looking forward to more of how they're going to use KD. I'll just say it like this. I have not been exactly entertained with how they have been using KD, especially like, I think they need to set some more some more action for him to come off of picks a little bit more, as opposed to trying to be a predominantly like one-on-one kind of guy and creating his own shot. He could do that, obviously, but like make it a little easier for him from time to time. I would just like to see increase. They've done it. I'm not saying they haven't done it, but I'd like to see that increase some more. Tonight he's going to be the feature guy, obviously. Like he's the guy. So there's no way to get around it. Don't be cute. Don't try to scheme things. Like just give it to him and get out of the way.
Let him come off easy shots.
Some picks. Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, let him come off naked screens all day and just pop. Let's go.
Yes, 100%. Okay, we have a couple super chats to get to here before we move on. Psycho Blue sent us a super chat. Thank you, Psycho Blue. Said, PHNX brethren, could you imagine if this foot sprain happened while the Suns were filming the latest winner's work clip?
Oh, man.
No, I can't imagine.
I cannot.
I refuse to imagine.
I'm kind of mad at you for even speaking that into existence.
That'll come up in the 30 for 30 about this championship.
Oh, no.
Drop a medicine ball on his foot.
Winner's work.
Frank sent us a super chat. Said, someone zoom the camera out. I can't see everything. Frank, you're talking about our two-shot.
Yeah, it's called cinema, Frank. Come on now.
We got Martin Scorsese behind the mat. Right?
Oh, no.
You appreciate the art, okay?
Thank you for your super chat, though. And then we got one from Juan. Thank you for your super chat. Said, we really need Grayson to show tonight.
Yes.
I do really hope we see a much better performance from Grayson Allen. Hopefully we just chalk it up to like opening night jitters, new team, all that kind of stuff.
Listen, Grayson needed one thing and one thing alone to happen, and it didn't happen the other night. He needed me to watch the game live.
Well, there you
and
go.
now I'm back. It's all good.
We're
There
good.
you go.
Because
Yes.
I'm all in on Grayson.
Grayson and Eric Gordon, like if both of them could just shoot 20% better than they did the other night, I'd be happy with that. Granted, I want more, but I'll take what I can get.
Hold on. That means Grayson Allen would shoot 20%. I'd prefer a little bit
Listen,
better.
yes, I'm saying I would prefer more, but I would also very much so like to avoid goose eggs across
Yeah,
the board.
you can't get much worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know
that's
what I mean?
We're,
I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just asking for a little
there's
here.
nowhere
I
to
think
go
0
but
for
up.
10 is worse than 0 for 6, right?
Well, okay, that's true. But I don't think that's going to happen. There's just, I don't see those two guys going a combined 4 of 22 again. I
Yes,
just don't.
fingers crossed, touch metal, knock on wood, whatever your thing is.
Also, can I say something about
Sure.
somebody just pointed out LA Lights tonight? Yes, Charles Coulter. That is a very real thing. Madison Square Garden, the crypto.com arena, they both have the same lighting system where they dim basically the lights all the way down to the court, and that's all you see. The Suns tried to do it, but they don't do it nearly as well as
I
those
think
other
it's
two
because they
spots.
don't darken the actual bowl enough and they don't pump enough
Yeah.
haze into the arena pregame. That
Yeah.
adds to it.
Well,
Crispy.
Arizona,
Crispy.
Arizona, the University of Arizona dims their lights all the way down to the court. I said that because Jalen Connors isn't here. They dim their lights all the way to the court, so they were able to figure it out. Come on, Suns.
Yeah, maybe one day. Okay, there is another storyline for tonight's game, and that is that KD and LeBron will be facing off against one another for the first time in almost 5 years, which is absolutely insane. Here's what Kevin Durant had to say about it.
Yeah, it's always an honor to play against the best of the best. You know, these guys, especially somebody in their 21st season, he could pack it up and just say, man, I done did it all, did enough. I done gave the game everything, but he still loves to play. And he brings the best out of everybody on the floor. So it should be fun for all of us.
They obviously have a lot of respect for each other and what both of them have done for the game of basketball. I know Katie was talking about it earlier today as well. Shoot around with the team, just, it's exciting. I think they enjoy playing against each other. Obviously, as fans, we love to be able to see two greats go toe-to-toe, head-to-head, whatever you want to call it. And we'll actually get to see that tonight for the first time in a long time.
Tonight's going to be very interesting. Nate Dunn in the chat said, oh, true, we'll probably see Metu. I would be shocked if we did not see Metu, and I'd also be a little shocked if we didn't see KBD, because I think KBD on Austin Reeves is too easy of a matchup. Shut that dude down, KBD.
You just...
We're talking about Kevin Durant and
That
LeBron
was
James
just one of
in
those,
this
like,
particular
no one
moment.
saw Bookman. Okay, but the thing about KBD is...
Listen, I think it's pretty cool that they finally get to play against each other for the first time ever. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Stop it.
You went full service as a Wendy's.
My bad.
I'm excited to see it because when you get two greats out there on the court, they usually push each other to new heights. And maybe that means LeBron will play 30 minutes instead of 28. You hear this whole minutes restriction he's on now? They're going to play him 28 to 30 minutes a game this season is what Darvin Ham said. So
it's like load managing within the game.
Enjoy those minutes that you see KD and LeBron out there tonight, because they'll be a little less than they used to be. So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this, especially because we don't have Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. Like, this is kind of the marquee matchup. And we haven't seen it in so many years. I know KD is excited about this. It's been like an emotional kind of reminiscing type week for him between the Warriors and the Lakers. The NBA finally learned its lesson. The last two times they tried to schedule these meetings, it was like in January. They're like, we want to make sure you're both healthy so we can see this. I'm excited for that. And the Suns are going to need KD to kind of improve on his record against LeBron. I think he's 5-16 against LeBron in the regular season. He is 9-5 against LeBron in the postseason.
So here, another tinfoil hat. The league requested that Booker and Beal sit out so the spotlight can be on KD and LeBron playing each other.
Then why didn't they make AD sit out?
Well, that'll naturally happen. So.
Hey, Disney.
Hey, he was on the court second half of last game and still wasn't there. So
That's true.
All right, gentlemen, let's look at some more things ahead of tonight's game. Espo, what are the guys going to be wearing in this one?
Our sweet, sweet, beautiful purple sunburst jerseys
versus
the putrid yellow and purple that the Lakers rock.
The classic yellow and purple.
More shade.
I'm very conflicted because I love our purple, and then I see purple on theirs. I'm like, screw that shit.
That purple's not as cool as our
That
purple.
is not actual purple. That's just gross.
All right, guys, who you got tonight and by how much?
I had the
Gerald.
Lakers by 5. We're missing 2 of our best 3 players. What do you want from me?
Our depth is amazing, Gerald. I have the Suns by 1.
I as well. I think this will be a tight game.
I have the Suns by 2. I think it's not quite as tight of a game as you guys think.
Not as
Look,
much.
I think this is one more point than you guys think.
Have a little faith.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Jeez.
What do our friends at the BetMGM Sportsbook app think about tonight's game?
Not
so great.
They agree more with Gerald. The Suns are 6.5 point underdogs here.
That's all right. They had us as underdogs against the Warriors too.
They did.
That's true.
You can get a plus money line on the Suns again 2 nights in a row to open the season.
I like that money line.
I almost took it for my bet tonight, and then I was like, I'm
would love to see what your bet
but I
is.
thought about it. Well, let's talk about it. So if you're new here, we have a competition. So every single game of the season, me, Saul, Espo, and Flex, our counterpart who is not with us tonight, will be placing $10 bets on the BetMGM Sportsbook app and keeping a tally of who has the most money in their pockets at the end of the season. And that person will have all the bragging rights and be named the winner. So far, Saul is -10, Espo's -10. I've got $60 and Flex has $42. So what are you guys betting on tonight?
44 unbothered right here, baby. Here we go. All right. My bet is I have a 6-leg parlay.
Hey, you trying to win this? Listen, it's like your last bet.
I actually think I like a lot of these bets. Listen, they were pretty minimal. Okay. Suns win or lose by less than 5.5.
Okay.
You got Anthony Davis over 20.5 points in the game. Kevin Durant over 28.5. Well, if the Suns are going to win, he's going to have to score at least that much. Nurkic over 10.5 rebounds. I think that's going to be easy.
Is that rebounds or points?
Points. Is that point? Yeah,
that's
points. My bad.
Okay.
I can't see.
That's easier than rebounds.
LeBron James over 15 points and Josh Okogie over 3.5 rebounds. Okay. I think those are all solid. I don't think I didn't reach in my opinion.
I think AD might be the problem.
Maybe.
I'll go with mine next since I take big swings, baby. Grayson Allen first bucket plus 1,400. I'll be up 140 at the end of the night.
This is how we lost last year.
I know. This is
how
we
we
lost last
care.
year.
Like, we don't have a bet on this, so I'm going to go big so I can kick your asses if I'm lucky.
I mean, listen, I don't. Plus 1,400 is nice. I'm not going to lie. But I don't think it's going to be Grayson Allen. I think it's going to be Kevin Durant. So I took him for my first field goal of the game tonight at a plus 400. So we'll see. And then
off the Nurk train?
Listen, In certain situations, I think Nurk is the perfect person to choose for the first field goal, but not in all situations. So that's why I went with KD tonight.
I'm gambling like I got to pay for a heart surgery and I got no money in the bank. That's how I'm going to play this year.
I'm just going to
so
say
random.
the Suns need to get a stop because I don't see Nurk winning the tip against Anthony Davis. But
Yeah, well,
that's just, that's
we'll
just
see.
me.
And then Flex has a 3-leg parlay. Player points Kevin Durant at plus 20. The spread for the Suns at a plus 5.5, and total points under 226.5.
I like that under.
At
Yeah.
plus 310.
That's the second time he's gone the under.
Yeah,
early on,
so. That's what we're going with tonight. If you guys want to get in on the action, you can download the BetMGM Sportsbook app and use code PHNX when you sign up for some free scratch. Okay, we also have one last thing to tell you guys about, and that is that we did launch a new t-shirt here at PHNX, and it is absolutely beautiful. And if you'd like some new merch to start off the Sun season, make sure you get your hands on this one. This is our One Nation Underbook t-shirt. It's available at gophnx.com. Just click on the little merch tab over there and you can get your hands on it.
Yeah, and if it winds up being a really, really long injury, will be One Nation 6 feet under.
Oh no, my goodness gracious. Real quick.
Timothy.
What does this mean, Timothy? Timothy said Lindsay plays bets like my mom plays Monopoly.
Safe. You play it safe is what he's saying.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
There's still good odds. It's a plus 400, and last night it was a plus 500 or
I'm
two
not-
nights ago.
I think it's a solid bet.
I mean,
Timothy.
you almost won last year playing like
I
his mom.
did. Whatever. Haters gonna hate. It's okay. All right. Well, tonight's game is on TNT, which means you cannot watch it on Arizona's Family Sports. But on Saturday, when they are back in town for the home opener, you can watch it on Arizona's Family Sports. And no matter where you live in Arizona, visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. It's a great resource to help you find your Phoenix Suns games that are on Arizona Family Sports. But again, for tonight, we're going to all watch together on TNT. And then after it wraps up, we're all going to meet back right here for a post-game show and hopefully to celebrate a Suns win. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Nope.
Get the ball to KD and easy shots.
Yes, for the first basket of
Nope.
the game.
Everyone
Bye.
after that.